Yes, people, Sunday here. Sunday the, wait, what is it? Sunday the 19th. Sunday the 19th. We're doing really well. It's pissing it down. It is raining. But, am I surprised? October, UK. Oh, fuck, screen out. Not at all. Not at all, so. Fuck. Bear with me. Bear with me. Right, markets. So yeah, it's a Sunday. Last time we spoke, we had been softly invalidated on the bear thesis, or the sort of deleveraging thesis, right? We were advocating caution from 114, what am I talking about? The 14th of August, sorry. We were advocating caution, risk to the downside. You know, we outlined all the reasons for that. We outlined all the reasons for that. You know, multiple videos, multiple charts, multiple sort of discussions. Anyway, like, didn't quite account for the max fuckery where they take it all the way to the highs and then delever. Anyway, it is what it is. You know, I was glad I was looking in the right direction and looking at the elephant in the room. Yeah, right on the thesis, didn't execute. Will do next time. Lessons learned, onwards. You know, not gonna like ramble on about that too much today because I want to talk about the bull case. So yeah, had the deleveraging. You know, and since then we've basically had a week where we had a limp sort of little dead cat bounce type thing, and then like we've grinded lower. And honestly, like, I love these spots because, like, just gonna talk, and it does remind me of a moment where last September, and it was the week, I think the Friday was the 6th of September, and I remember, you know, we had there's a lot of parallels to right now, and I'll list a few off, right? We were at the tail end of a multi-quarter range. And by the tail end, I mean like the final fifth, the final quarter of, you know, a large, like, 9-month range-bound environment. And this year, yeah, we had a break higher in summer, like technically a break of the January highs, but when we account for dollar weakness, you know, by taking into account the Euro USD pair, like, it wasn't a break of the highs. We're still under the highs that were set in January. So we're still in a range against the euro. So, like, was it a real break of all-time highs? Like, not really. Not really. Dollar weakness made it look a lot better than it actually was. So we've actually been range bound since January, really speaking. And we're at the tail end now, in my opinion, of that range bound environment. So it begs the question, you know, is this an accumulation range or is this a distribution range? Is this, you know, are we going to get a markdown following this period, or a leg to the upside? And this was the same question that we should have been asking ourselves last year, right? When we're getting into the sort of September region. You've had the deleveraging, you've now had a long period of sideways chop, right? You've had a time-based capitulation, you've had the OI unwind, right? And now we're in this lucrative little spot, what it seems to me like anyway, where you've got option skew at multi-year highs, just as you did in September last year, just as you did at the April lows, which, for those that aren't aware, and you can go and do your own research, but that basically implies that people are buying out the money puts relative, far greater skew on the put side of options buying. So people panic buying puts that are kind of like out the money relative to the calls that are being bought. So it's like a bearish, objectively the market is bearish and sort of in panic mode, panic put buying. Another point that we discussed, and these are symptoms after you have a sharp deleveraging, after you have an unwind. It's scary, but like we were discussing this weeks and months in advance, what it'd feel like after this type of event. And now we're now starting to see these behaviors manifest, and it's like the best. From a psychological perspective, sometimes I honestly feel, and like I was a bit of a COVID denier, to be honest. I was like, I was open to the idea that it was dangerous, but then like after having it and like after kind of seeing the propaganda arm push and all the other stuff, I was like, do you know what? I think we've actually got, and seeing like the collective behaviors that I was seeing, we've actually got sort of a bit of a collective psychosis where everybody's a lot more scared than they should have been. It was a fucking cold, and the average age of people dying was like higher than the fucking average death rate anyway. But like people were just, shook and scared, and I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And I'm like, what is going on here? And it feels like one of these moments again, but just like a market equivalent. Everybody shook and scared. It's like Jerome Powell's about to cut into all-time highs. You've got equities down 2 to 3% last week, and in the fear and greed's in fear. What the fuck? Anyway, so we've got like panic objectives, kind of like panic, bear, sketch, like disillusionment. We're at the tail end of a long range. Anybody that has wanted to, de-risk and get out, that's trading the 4-year cycle, is likely to be doing so or already done so. And this takes me back to, I did a commentary, obviously not public, because I was doing these behind the scenes before I started to put them on. But I did one for the summer offensive break that we called. And because people were asking me like, oh, Cav, like, how are we going to break the highs? Like, what's the catalyst going to be? And I'm going to be like, well, there's a big cohort of people that abide by the sell in May, go away, and the summer chop. What happens when you start cracking all-time highs and they have de-risked, thinking that they're going to be able to buy a dip, 25 to 30% lower in a couple months' time? Panic at the disco, the chase gets on. We've got that, but orders of magnitude more in size here from a positioning perspective, in my opinion. Like, long-term holders have been distributing and selling their coin for the past 9 months now, up top here, in this sort of 100, 110, 120k range. Imagine the panic at the disco when corn starts to push higher from here, after we've had the big deleveraging, after we've had everybody shaken out. We discussed it in the commentary a month back. Go watch it, re-watch it, because it's important to and I've been re-watching them, because it's easy to get skewed and a bit blurred and a bit it's like, now we actually expected these type of behavior and they're manifesting now. I love what I see as a bull. So that's a few things on BTC. And I remember, it's funny because the Friday, the 6th of September, like I said, I remember the banks were getting smoked. And the fractal that I put up, and I'll put the tweet in the link, because I bull posted the 54k low, and funnily enough, that is, we never went back to them prices, and the banks were getting whacked on the Thursday and the Friday, and it looks like the March banking crisis fractal from March 23, the low, how it was formed. And I remember saying, You put the low in on the Friday, as like slow and steady grind higher on the weekend, and then green shoots into next week. And like it seems like we've kind of got a similar setup here, like print the low on the Friday, everyone's bear hold, everybody's waiting for lower, then we go and get a slow and steady grind higher over the weekend and green shoots next week. Bear with me. So that's just like some sort of the psychology, sort of the fear side of things, like fear and greed in extreme fear, as it was September, like as it was April lows. People are shit scared. People are shit scared. And then on the macro side, you've got bonus points, you know, in addition. You've got like small caps about to go and break into price discovery, Jerome Powell about to cut into all-time highs. You've got equities fear and greed in fear about 3% off the highs. You've got JP about to pause QT. You've got, you know, the QRA and FOMC and the next month. Everybody's antsy. I don't really get why. I don't know if it's Trump. I don't know what it is. You've got managers underperforming their benchmarks across the board. Alright, so that's a chase. Chase. They probably all watch metals rip higher. Like, core might have just bottomed against other risk assets. Like, it's been in a downtrend against other risk assets for the past 9 months. It's incredibly bullish. We're literally compressing under all-time highs for like 9 months. Silver did the same thing. It had weekly bear divergences. Right, it had a 20% candle to the downside over the space of 2 days. Max fuckery after like what, a 6 month sort of chop, hanging chop, oscillation, weekly bear divergences, 20% candle to the downside within 2 days. Bang, puts the low in, lockout rally, straight to new highs, straight to, you know, a 50, 60% move, whatever it's been. Could totally see something similar. Everybody's shook, and I don't get it. I love these spots, man. I've probably missed a load of points. Like, I've got a big old list of data that I'm looking at, you know, and I posted a couple charts. It's like people flipping bearish here down at the lows. Like, I don't really have respect for it, because like, if you're going to be bear posting, and look, I do bear post sometimes, like, you know, I'm not like all perma bull, all perma bear. Like, I'll play both sides and like express why and outline why, but like, I don't respect bear posting into the lows when we've just gone, you know, 10% within the space of 10 days. That's only been seen once this cycle. Well, 13, 14%. It's only been seen once this cycle before. Like, at least bear post when there's risk to the downside. I don't know, like, yeah, going and bear posting when it's extreme fear. I don't get it. Don't get it. So look, that's where we're at. You know, super bullish. Love these spots. Love these spots. To swing the bat. These spots to swing the bat. I love it. Discuss these spots months in advance. Do you know what I mean? It's not. So yeah, that's where we're at. Honestly, wishing everyone the best, and like, We do this stuff from the heart, not from the ego. Ego is a fictitious sense of self. So anything I post, I'm doing it honestly. I'm being vulnerable, like, I'm willing to look stupid. But that's what we're about, So look, more life. Ciao for now, and yeah, let's get it, bulls.